Edward Laos. Welcome to Travel Talk, filmed at the Peachtree Rose Marketing Studios and hosted by the hotel guide publisher, Edward Laos.
Good morning, everybody. Edward Laos here, publisher of the Hotel Guide and your host of Travel Talk. Really excited about today's episode. Got Daned Kirkham with Vacasa's, and he's actually their senior director of real estate. We got some interesting topics to discuss today. One thing that I've never had actually on our podcast, talking about some of the top 25 spots in the world, actually in the United States for real estate, and talking about that and talking about travel a little bit. But Daned, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Good to be with you. And always excited to talk about these locations.
No, it's going to be fun. When I found out about what y'all are talking about, I thought, hey, this would be a great concept for some of our listeners and guests to kind of know about. As people travel, sometimes they want to buy spaces and then figure out how they can rent them and do those kind of things too, as well as maybe even move. So this all fits into everything that we're doing. But like I like to do with all of my guests, tell me a little bit about yourself, how you kind of got to where you are, and then we'll kind of jump into the business side of things as well.
Yeah, so I've been in the business about 25 years. I got into real estate shortly out of college and have focused in on these resort vacation markets, which has been good. It's led me to a lot of great places and a lot of great destinations, and just really enjoy working with owners and making the most of their experiences in these great communities and great places.
Oh, yeah. No, I think, having that background, we have probably similar backgrounds in the travel side of things. You just have the real estate side. But I love what the company is doing. One of the things that stood out to me is your top 25 list of some of the places to go. Why don't we touch a little bit on some of those, and then maybe even talk about, what are some of the things coming up for Vacasa maybe in this year that you think may be kind of unique to people wanting to know, and we'll kind of jump into some other things from there.
Yeah, for sure. So this list is something we've been doing for a number of years now. And we basically get a lot of people that come to us and say, hey, I've been thinking about buying a vacation rental place and I like to go to these places, but what are the best markets? And so we've been doing this list. It's really fun for me to be able to kind of dive in and look at the data and see what are the places that pop up. It does change from year to year, but we do see a couple of big trends year over year. So it is a fun thing to do. And it's I think it's helpful for people as they're trying to decide where they want to purchase a vacation rental. And, to your point earlier, a lot of people go on vacation, they're having a great time. And, at some point in there they go, wouldn't it be great if we had a place here and we could vacation it and then we can, rent it out when we're not using it. So we get those questions quite a bit.
Now, I can imagine. I would think, obviously with, Airbnbs, VRBOs and all that stuff, which is why we have a relocation section in our magazine as well, is, you go to these destinations and you're just like, why don't we have a house here? And when we're not here, let's kind of rent it out and kind of figure out that as well. It's such a great idea. I mean, I'm sure it's always been there. But obviously, as travel has evolved, obviously post pandemic, people are looking for outlets. And if they have a place where they can call their home, if you will, to be able to go to, it just makes things a lot more enjoyable when you go to a place, you know where you're going and you know what you're getting.
Yeah. I mean, we have this discussion almost every day with our owners and guests. And, certainly with the pandemic, we saw that a lot more, but we were actually seeing this even before. And the other side of it is people enjoy taking these vacations in these places that they can bring other families, they can bring, larger people, they can entertain, they can cook, these are the types of things. And when you look at our list, those are the types of places that you see on the list. The other thing that we see is a lot of these places are within a drive-to distance from a major metropolitan area, sometimes multiple majors. So, if someone wants to get in the car, take a short weekend, or they can drive to these places.
Yeah. And I think that's important. So you touched on a couple of things and reasons why people are doing, being able to go to a home and have multiple people there. Multi-generational travel is just taking off big time. It's taking the grandparents with the kiddos and doing that. And then experiential travel is going next level as well. So you're hitting on two key components for people. Plus it's the capacity of having a home, is another thing as well. So those are three things right there that just as a traveler, you're trending the right direction. Could you give us some obviously you don't have to give us all the top 25, but you have some key ones that maybe even you like that maybe stood out to you or were kind of interesting picks?
Yeah, for sure. We see a lot of these kind of on the coastal area, so the East Coast area. So you see the Panhandle of Florida, kind of Gulf Shores, Alabama is always really high on that list, and then the Carolinas, South Carolina, North Carolina, kind of up the coast. Those areas are always really high on the list, and for the reasons that we just talked about, they tend to be these multi-generational type destinations. Families are going there looking for like these types of accommodations, so they tend to perform really well. And then we see some of the locations that are slightly out of what you would typically think of the big things that are just kind of maybe a little smaller. So a good example would be Navarre Beach, kind of in the Florida market. It's close to some of the other bigger markets you think of, but it's just a little smaller destination. So those, and then the other places that we see are places where they just tend to have more of the larger homes. So when we get in the Carolinas on the coast and stuff like that, you see the larger single family homes that people are looking for.
Wow. So those are all key points. And you got me thinking. I've been to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and I loved it. And obviously Destin in the Panhandle there in Florida. So you're speaking my language. I'm a coast guy. Give me to the beach. Yeah, I'm sure it's all nice and in the winter and being able to to go skiing somewhere. I'm just not a cold guy. Give me a beach in the sun, and that's where I want to be. So
and we see those people come back year after year. If you're that type of visitor, I mean, they're coming there multiple times a year, and they're doing it, year after year, returning.
No, it's incredible. In fact, we've got a couple of properties that are in our travel listing, our travel directory, part of the hotel guide, that have two of them there in Rosemary Beach that have it in there as well. So it's a great opportunity for people. It's a great investment, as you guys know. You wouldn't be in business otherwise. But these are amazing places around the United States that people can kind of grasp to. So any big things for the company that you have that you know of for 2025 that y'all have maybe planning to do, or how do we come up with our top 25 list is probably another question people want to know.
Yeah, it's a great question. So one of the things that we're really focused on are these properties that have amenities that guests are looking for when they're traveling to these places, right? So if you're traveling to that beach destination, do you want to be on the water? Do you want to be on the beach? Do you want to have a hot tub? Do you want to have a swimming pool? If you're going to the mountains, are you ski in, ski out? Like all those things are really what we find our guests are looking for. And then we help our owners provide that. And that really increases the guest experience, that increases the owner's return. So really making sure key amenities are part of your home. If you're looking for a home, making sure that that's something you're considering. Again, it's what our guests are looking for. So we help our owners make sure that we can accommodate them.
Well, I love how your team is really focused on not only the guest experience, but also the owner experience. You're really combining the two together. There's a lot of companies out there that only focus on one or the other. And it makes it really hard if you have a really focus on the guest experience, but you don't have such a great relationship with your owners. So I love that you guys are doing that for both ends of the spectrum. So let's switch a little from the business side to the personal side. I always love to ask my guests these two questions about travel because we're a travel podcast. What have been some of your favorite travel destinations that you've been to?
Well, I'm a bit of the opposite of you. I'm more of a mountain guy, so I tend to gear towards the mountains and those types of more remote locations. But honestly, some of the places I would like to go visit are more on the coast that I haven't been to. So some of those Carolina locations, get out there on the beach and experience that part of the world as well. So.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. What are some of your favorite mountain locations? I love to hike too. So what are some of your mountain destinations that you like to go to?
Well, I'm based in Vail, Colorado. So right out our door, we have all of the hiking, mountain biking, skiing, fishing, rafting, all that sort of stuff. But always love to get up to some other destinations. Planning a trip up to Alaska this spring. So to get up there and experience some of that. And certainly anywhere in the mountains, in the Western mountains, are always a good time.
Always a good time. So you actually answered some of our next question, which was some of your bucket list. So you're going to Alaska. Anything else that you have on your bucket list that you want to try and accomplish from a travel perspective?
Alaska is a big one, but again, some of the East Coast, the beaches in those areas, they rank high on our list year after year, and I'd love to get out there and experience them personally for sure. Maybe get some fishing in out there.
Oh yeah, no, I think I think I love the outdoor aspect of everything that you're doing, and again, it goes back to like you said, wellness travel is such a big deal for travel nowadays, and being out there fishing or being out there hiking is all about wellness. It's all our personal things that we like to do.
Well, one of the trends that we've seen is people are, traveling to these locations and they're spending longer times there, right? So they can, if they can work from while they're on vacation, they can spend more time in these places.
That's a great point. Talk a little bit about we got a few minutes here, but talk a little bit about how people are utilizing this as potentially work from home, remote workers. How have we seen an increase of people doing that? Obviously post COVID, but doing that even more.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things, we've certainly seen. And so some of these people, I mean, your booking window has decreased, so they're not planning as far in advance as they used to. But when they're planning, we're seeing the stays that are longer than what we used to
Mm.
see. And so like when we're talking with owners, we're having them, increase the their amenities to accommodate that. So like have a space that if someone wants to take a meeting, like they can work and they can do both while they're on vacation. So that's certainly one of the changes that we've seen. But and I think we're going to see that stay for quite a while now too.
Yeah, I think so too. Having a travel magazine and being able to work, remotely wherever I want in the world, as long as we got good Wi-Fi, that's that's the key to our success is that. But that's an important thing, and I'm glad you brought that up because you're covering a lot of things, from the multi-generational to the experiential, but also from the remote worker and how you can combine those into those aspects as well. So we got a couple of minutes left. Can you let people know what's the best way to find you and your company, and any final thoughts?
Yeah. So our list of top 25 places is on our website. It's vacasa.com. And you can check it out there. There's also information on our other services and our property management services that we offer.
Oh, that's awesome. We will make sure that that is in the notes as well. And it's Vacasa with a V, like in victory. So we'll have that in there as well. And that way people can go to you and find out a little bit more about your services. And if there's any individuals wanting to, for the property management, we got a company here that can help them.
Yeah, and if they have a few places in mind and they just want to ask some questions as far as what they should be looking for, we're always happy to work with them. We've got a team of experts that are in these markets, so that really know the markets well. So, help them, like, what are the amenities that people are looking for? What is the size? I mean, I encourage people when they're starting to look to engage with the professional property management as early as possible in the process. That will help them and save them time and money in the long run for sure.
That's awesome. I love everything that you're doing, Daned, and with the organization too. Again, first of your kind on our podcast,
Oh,
and
great.
this is really cool thing to have you. And I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you've got a busy schedule as well, but thank you for being on the episode this morning.
Great. Thank you. Really enjoyed it.
Now it's going to be awesome. To all of our listeners and readers out there, you know the deal. Follow us at thehotelguide.com. We want to make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. This is some great content from Daned here. If you're looking for a property management company, this is one to look at. You got to find that top 25 list at their website as well, and they'll definitely help you out. But as we always like to say, travel and make memories. And until next time, everyone, take care, and we'll talk soon.